Okay, how'd you go with your loft? Hopefully, with a bit of luck, it all worked out and it looks as lovely and svelte as this one right here. So, little bit of finishing off to do. We need to pop in a little bit of a spherical shape on the end, and we also need to put the spindle up here. All right, putting this one here, if I just went straight onto the end of that and made a sphere off the end of it, it'd have a weird bump. It wouldn't be the nice tangential curve it needs to be. So, what am I going to do? I need to put a sketch on the mid plane through the middle of this. Because of the way we drew it, that mid plane is hiding in our origin back up here, and it is our XY, where am I driving? XY plane. All right. The little bit of a pain that we have is that we've got all of this material in front of us because it's running through the center there. I've got half of my hook in the way, making it difficult to see. So just down off the bottom here, let's see if I can extend this around there. Look at that. This little tool down here, the slice graphic tool, slices it in half onto the plane where I'm drawing so I can see exactly what I'm doing. The other thing that's going to help me to do this is if I bring back my foundation plan. Can I make it visible again? Yes, I can. And I zoom in here. I need to be drawing my sphere around this center point there, not a center point up there. What do I mean by that? Well, look, if I just draw in a bit of an arc, can I project in that endpoint? All right. If I draw an arc here, centered there and starting on that point, oops. So if I use that as sphere, all right, that new line, see how it's got this weird bump and valley and not what we want. We want this inner one there. And I'll just undo that nasty looking thing and that point there. So now what do I want to use? I want to use that center point. Really important to me. I'm going to draw an arc that is centered on this, and you know what? It really doesn't quite matter where we draw this thing. If I start it there and I swing it around, so it goes 180 degrees, and I draw a line from this side to that side, and I actually dimension it because I forgot to dimension it like a dum-dum. 6 mil. Look at that. Finish my sketch. I've got this weird sketch poking out in there, and it's on a strange angle, which is kind of a good thing because I need to be able to access that line. This is why I'm doing this as a revolve. A few years ago, when I first started playing with this one day, I thought, well, I want to draw a sphere, and how do I draw a sphere? Well, I drew a circle, and I couldn't extrude it, I couldn't revolve it, I couldn't do anything. And what I needed to do was draw one half of it. That's not quite what I wanted. I just want this one profile here, but it's not being the most cooperative. It's clearly seeing a difference between the two. There we go. And then its axis. That's why I need to be able to see that line. There it is. Sphere it around. Okay. How's it think? Now, my computer's a very powerful machine, as you can tell by how quickly it rendered that. So there's my nice little bump on the end. I don't need that foundation one anymore. I can go, thank you, into its non-visible state. Now, up here we're running a spindle up here. So if I click on that surface, it's going to let me put a sketch on it. The last one on the right is always to draw a new sketch. Now, how big is this one? This spindle that runs up here, it has a metric 36mm thread on the end of it, and that is denoting its size, 36 millimeters. Okay, finish that sketch. And the height it's going to get extruded is going to be 105 millimeters, 105. Okay, there's its height. It needs a thread. I'm going to put a thread onto that surface. Excuse me, specification, just checking that it's a metric profile, 36 by 4, that's fine. It's a right-hand thread, excellent. Going back to its location. It doesn't run the full length. The length of it is 45 millimeters long. Okay, we can apply that. It's not offset, no, perfect. Turn that one off. At the top, there is a slight chamfer, just to make it easy to get a bolt to line up with the nut. We're just going to go with that standard 2 millimeters on that top edge, and I'm going to apply. Actually, I should have said okay, shouldn't I? Because I don't have another one to do. So that's on there. Okay, finishing this off. If I extend this up here so we can see that bit, and set that up very well, did I? The material. Now, the generic material is this is a forged steel. So I could go with where are we? Steel. I could go with cast. I could go high strength, low alloy. Look, I'm going to go with that one. I'd probably change this bit here. Control and that and that. All right, so just changing those surfaces and this one in here. Hold my control button down again to select an extra surface. All right, those surfaces there. So it says steel polished at the moment. I would like it to be honed because it's being machined. And this hook, the rest of this surface, and where are we? This little sphere on the end, a bit too. We might as well paint them. We've been making all of our other parts yellow, so we might as well make them our smooth yellow color as well, so it's in keeping with all the rest of it. Look, that is the hook pretty much completed now. So, yeah, I hope that's been an interesting thing for you to draw and complete. So I think that's pretty much all of the components drawn now, apart from a couple of specialized nuts. There is, if you have a close look back at the drawing down here, a taper pin that runs through there, but that's something that we're going to do after it is assembled, because it actually says somewhere in the instructions that that taper pin will be drilled and put together post-assembly. So there we go. Most of everything drawn. So in the next video, look out for some putting together of parts. Enjoy your Easter. Oh, sorry about that. Look, enjoy your Easter. Have a great time. Stay safe on the roads. And yeah, look, we'll put it all together in the next week or so. See you later.